show him who's the boss.
Good girl.
All right, so we set the scene in Lajitas, Texas, on the back of a horse.
They know.
They know what they picked that.
So my wonderful horse's name was Sophie, and she was a spicy young girl, let's just say, which is awesome. I like a horse with some spirit, you know. I don't like robot horses, as they call them.
What's that?
Gun. Pistol.
Okay.
Don't play cop on Indians, okay?
Oh well.
Come on, killer.
And our guide over there, Armando, was really hilarious. He made every single one of us laugh at least once.
Well, how do you feel being back up in the saddle again?
Better than usual.
There's no song to that, in it. Back in the saddle again.
Right.
He put the stirrups right.
For me and her me.
This is like a lot roomier than my saddle. I got like extra space.
Just to clarify, I did mean my personal saddle, of course. I have a personal bridle and saddle that was made specifically for me. Here you can see me petting her horse, whose name I forgot. How dare I?
That horse actually doesn't look too.
Also, to clarify here, my dad is 6'4", and he has a hard time fitting on beds and in showers and just generally in everything. And horses are no exception. So when we find a horse that actually fits him, it's a celebratory matter.
You want Shrek out first?
No, that's good, but hold on. Let me get my horse. Oh, man. Doesn't matter what show you want to be, guys. In case you want to change orders later, you let me know. We can stop and make that happen, okay?
All right.
But it's up to y'all, guys. I don't care which order you want to be in. Ready, guys?
Back. Ready.
He's not a former racehorse.
Let's go. I was ready. And then my dad asked if his horse was a former racehorse because the last time we had been trail riding in the mountains here,
Feels good to be back in the saddle.
he was given an ex-racehorse, and that horse took off past the entire trail line and left us in the dust, and it was really funny.
Give us a space cushion here. Yeah, there we go.
So it was about this time in the riding when I noticed that she was tossing her head and acting anxious. So my horse Sophie had actually been in a pretty bad fight with my dad's horse, the white horse named Shrek. And so during the whole beginning part of this trail ride, she was actually very upset that he was behind her. She didn't want anything to do with Shrek, my dad's horse. So she was constantly trying to kind of cut ahead in line and tossing her head. And at one point, coming up here, actually, she tries to kick him when I tell her to slow down because she saw him coming from behind her and she didn't like that. So later on in the trail ride, I actually switched positions, and me and my dad unfortunately couldn't ride very close together. See, this is where she tries to kick him right there. Luckily, she didn't actually kick him, but yeah, unfortunately, me and my dad couldn't ride close together, but we still enjoyed ourselves thoroughly.
Yeah. Good girl, Sophie. Good girl.
And right there was a perfect example of her trying to cut ahead.
Yeah. There's a lot of millipedes. Oh.
This is probably when she tried to
slow
cut
down.
ahead in a most desperate way.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
See how
Whoa.
just irritated she is that I'm telling her to stop.
Wow. Now that is a ravine.
In retrospect, I really wish I had saved a lot of the camera for the middle part of the ride, because that was the steepest part, and it was very, very, very steep and very exciting. I'm a seasoned trail rider. I've been riding horses since I was a little kid, and that was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, the GoPro by that point had overheated, and I had to turn it off for a good while because the temperature out here in this desert is extremely hot, and the GoPro gets hot while it's recording, so I had to save the battery basically. So here our guide Armando actually spotted an aoudad. This was one of the first herds of aoudad that we had seen on the trail. We would see a lot more later on near the end of the trail, and it was pretty awesome. Aoudad are basically a wild sheep that's native to West Texas, and they are awesome mountain climbers. They can live out here in this desert in the rocks, and it's pretty amazing to watch them just race across the edges of these cliffs like they're nothing. It's incredible.
There's a bunch of them, aren't there? Good night.
Right?
I honestly wish that the camera picked them up better, because I mean you could see them easily with our eyes, but they really do blend in with the ground color. And I mean, if they're sitting, laying down, or standing still, you could almost mistake them for a rock. So unfortunately, I don't think you
What
can
a
really
difference
see them
4
on
legs
the
makes.
GoPro camera, as much as I wish we could.
We hiked I honestly think we hiked 4 miles in Big Bend yesterday.
We didn't hike 4 miles, we
terrain like
hiked
this, yeah.
6, for the record.
And by the end of it, man, I mean, we were tore out.
Going to Santa Elena Canyon.
No, we haven't been there yet,
Oh,
no.
that's beautiful. You have to be ready though. You have to wade nearly waist deep across the river to get to it.
Really?
Yeah, so I know people taking shoes off and wading across. Clothes off. Yeah, one lady girl even took her clothes off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my dad had been there many, 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 many years ago. Unfortunately, this trip, we're probably not going to have time, but I mean...
The biggest difference I've seen is all the people.
When he was here last, it was like desolate.
Oh, really?
But that was, what, 65? No. No, you don't get to cut ahead, ma'am. You know, I like you, Sophie. You got spirit, girl. I like you.
I'm not planning to.
I like a horse with some gusto. You ignore him. Yeah. Unless you're lucky enough to start up.
Rocky. Good, you hold in. Get your reins down where you don't top of your saddle horn.
Right.
This horse is gonna go in the right direction.
So many millipedes. Don't you miss this?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't ride on terrain like this per se.
Although I have previously ridden in West Texas on terrain similar to this, it wasn't quite as
I don't think Buster
desert
would
and
have liked
rocky as Lajitas was.
throwing that out there.
I was a little underwhelmed
Well,
at how
I was born in
unenthusiastic
San
my dad
Antonio,
sounded
but I
at
did a lot of my,
when he answered that
spent a lot of my
question.
childhood in Alice, Texas.
But I know he misses riding
He's
too.
from Freer.
I miss it so much.
So we're like, you know,
it's ridiculous.
Brush people. What's that down there? Are those cows? Or are those horses?
Maybe a donkey.
Maybe.
We saw a lot of wild donkeys yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
They have wild asses out here?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Don't say red.
I'm like, what? Wow, what a view. This is great. Fantastic view.
Keep the reins shorter. Or put your hand down. How you doing, guys?
How's our
Good.
faces?
Awesome.
He's not afraid of these rocks either.
No, he's not.
I don't think any of them are really. That cave is so enticing.
Yeah.
Look at
That looks like some kind of canyon back there.
This is a nice
That
canyon
is
right there.
amazing.
You know, when it rains, when you have like a good rain, I don't know how it happens, but you will see water coming out to that cave.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Neat. Request to be in the front?
So finally, we actually end up changing
If you don't
the
mind.
trail
You don't mind?
order here, the trail order, and I get away from Shrek, and instantly Sophie changed her energy. It was pretty incredible. But yeah, the rest of this is just quiet trail riding, and it's so nice and peaceful out here. You could just take a nap in this wilderness, honestly. It's very peaceful. As peaceful as it is, however, it is very hot. I guess that's the consequence. But it is so quiet out here. You can hear the wind rolling through the canyons and the plains
telling me to,
before
like,
it even
look into
gets to
something
you,
here?
which is a
Totally.
really cool sound. But yeah, I mean, otherwise enjoy some nice quiet trail riding. Like I said, I really wish I had more footage of this wonderful landscape.
I mean, I like the dry air.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in San Antonio every day. Yeah. Hot and humid. Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We were
Roadblock.
truly lucky to have this guide with us. He was
Beautiful.
amazing.
Absolutely.
And he's been doing this for like 18 some years. So
Straight down.
if anybody else does this trail ride, I really hope that they get Armando. He's awesome.
He reminds me a lot of my husband.
The horse?
No, you.
Oh, I thought that horse. I was like, yeah, they look like alike.
How high are we here?
Hi.
That's 6?
No. At this point, I think it's like 29.40.
So straight ahead of us, right past this drop-off, that is indeed the Rio Grande and Mexico. So that's how close we are to the border. It's pretty neat to see the river like that. It's really pretty in this part because it's so rocky, and the rocks filter the water, so it's not the mucky, yucky Rio Grande that you see in like Laredo, for instance. Very pretty here. And I would recommend people check it out at this part, or Interlingua. Don't judge the river by
Sophie
the border
has been
towns.
on top of everything. She's been so sure-footed. Yeah. Haven't you, girl? Yeah. You're a good horse.
Want a picture, guys?
Oh, yeah, totally.
We will see if they can get kind of together. Okay, close.
Okay. Here,
Every
let me
horse
go
is a
on this
good
side
horse,
then.
by the way, and they didn't like being close for the picture. Not surprising. So, fun fact,
There we go.
there is practically nobody
Yeah.
trying to cross the border at this
All right.
this whole area actually, because it is so desolate. There are some like drug mules that come through, but they're very few. So this is actually one of the safest places if you want to be along the border, just because of the desolation.
Yeah, it's coming out now, clear enough.
Let her go around. Let her go around.
Thank you.
We don't want any horsepower.
So in this part coming up here, this is where we saw the majority of the Aoudad on our trail ride. There was about 30 strong in this herd, and huge, huge rams. And it kind of got me really wishing I could draw a public hunt here. Wouldn't that be just amazing? But I would probably have a better chance of winning the Texas lottery.
Oh, I see him now. I see him. He's moving now a little bit. There's a big ram right there. He's right straight down on the, oh no.
Oh, I see him now. Yep.
Some of the awesome flora of the desert are these weird-looking spidery cacti known as ocotillos. And there's also yucca, different varieties of yucca, about 1,000 different types of cacti, including nopal. There's just such a diverse amount of flora. It's amazing, and I couldn't tell you, half of them probably. And this is pretty much the end of the trail ride. I wish I had more to record, but again, the battery overheated and the GoPro turned off. But I hope that, I gave everybody a little bit of a glimpse into the awesomeness that is West Texas and horseback riding.